Hi, welcome. I'm Simone Kutzer. I'm a finalist in the Mrs. Africa UK competition, and I am also fundraising for Got Your Back Naomi. And as part of fundraising for Got Your Back Naomi, we've done a recipe book, and I'd like to demonstrate one of the recipes in the recipe book. In fact, I might add on an extra one because as I was going on, my favorite to go with macaroni and cheese is a baked beans curry. So look out for that one. But this is the macaroni and cheese, and there's been a lot of adaptations in this one. So I'm going to make the white sauce the way my sister-in-law taught me. I think there's a specific name for it, but I'm not a chef, so I don't know. I'm just going to tell you what I do, show you what I do, and then you can try it out yourself. But the first thing I do with the macaroni and cheese is I parboil the mac and cheese. So as you can see here, I've already boiled it. You don't want it too soft because you're going to put it in the oven as well. So parboiled in a bit of salt, but if you have high blood pressure, maybe you want to leave that out. You're going to add in a sauce, so that will give you a wee bit of flavor in as well. So it's really boil it according to your own taste. And so that is sitting there ready to go. And now I'm going to make the white sauce. I have put oil in, just enough to cover the bottom. I might need to add extra. This is something I kind of measure as I go along. And then in here I have got flour. Now if you are gluten-free, I've actually got half and half here. I've got a bit of gluten-free flour and a bit of normal flour in, just because I didn't have enough flour. And there's 7 tablespoons, and so I'm going to slowly add that in as the oil is heating up. And I'm going to stir it and put it down flat and just make sure that as I put it in, I'm getting rid of the lumps. And so it's ready for a bit more. And so I just slowly add the flour and stir it in. And it's at this point, if I add flour and I find that I've got too much flour and not enough oil, I might add a wee bit more oil. So as you can see there, it's starting to get a bit thick. But I actually think that is actually perfect in there. I'll just turn it around. So it's on a low heat. And now I'm ready to add in my milk. Now again, you can choose the milk that you prefer, so whether you want skim milk, semi-skim milk, or full cream. I am going for a fully loaded mac and cheese, and so I am using the local Aberdeen milk, full cream, straight from the farm. See, it is thickening up nicely. I haven't added all the milk that I need, so I'm going to add in. Now my mom normally uses about 1 liter of milk in here. I have found that I like my macaroni to bake to set quite nicely, and so I tend to do 750 mils, and that is approximately 750 mils in there. Now you can just do a plain white sauce, but if you like a cheesy macaroni, and as I said, we're going for the fully loaded. So at this point now that it's thickening up quite nicely, I am actually going to add in my cheese. Now with my cheese, I use about 500 grams of cheese for the whole dish. This is just more than 500, but this is about 300 grams I've grated. I'm just going to put in a handful of cheese for the sauce, and the rest is going to be for the top tip for the top of the sauce is that you can bake it or you put the cheese on top, and so until you have it baked, and then if you're going to only serve it later or the following day, then only put the cheese on top and then bake it again, and then that's just great. However, if you're going to be eating it straight away, then just put your cheese on top. when you bake it. Because everything is cooked, you're basically just doing it so that everything sets and the cheese melts when it goes into the oven. Okay, so my sauce once again is starting to thicken. I don't want it to get too lumpy, but I do want it to be a nice consistency. So it's a little bit watery, so I'm going to let it go for a couple more, a minute or two. And then when I take it off the heat, I'm going to add in 3 eggs, and that's going to make sure that it does set, and it also adds creaminess to it. Now for the fully loaded, I'm going to add in actual full cream milk, but if you just want to use the eggs or leave the eggs out, that is your choice. So you can leave the eggs out and put the full cream milk, or you can leave the full cream milk out and add in the eggs. Okay, now you can feel that consistency. It feels thick as you're stirring it, so that's when you know there's a sort of heaviness in it. And yeah, as you're stirring through, then you just feel, okay, yeah, that is getting to where I want it to be. As you can see, there's a few lumps in there. It's not a train smash. You're gonna put it into bake, so that's going to be nice. Yes, and I am happy with that. And so I'm going to switch the heat off. Now I've already cracked my 3 eggs. Now the key thing, if you don't want to have an eggy macaroni, is to make sure that as soon as you put it in, you mix. So you want to do that really nice and fast. Now for other people, they put in this is at the point they might add in a wee bit of mustard. I don't really like that. The sharpness is a bit too much for me. And so for me, it's just the egg. But you want to do it really fast so that you don't get the taste of the egg at all in it. It's already heated up, so that is also cooking through the egg. And then when you put it in the oven, then your egg is cooked through properly. And that adds sort of just, as I said, a creaminess to your mac and cheese, as well as ensuring that it does set nicely. Okay. What I didn't mention is that I did put in about 500 ml, a teaspoon of salt with the flour, and perfect. I'm happy with that. At this stage, if you felt it wasn't cheesy enough, you could add more cheese as well. It wouldn't be too late. Going to add in the cream. And as I said, oops, you can leave that out. All right, so that's the cream added in. And then to make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan, we add in a little bit of butter. I am using a lightly salted butter. You can use a different butter. And so we want just a little bit for each. Excuse me, I'm going to use my fingers. My hands are clean. The 5 corners. And just push that down the bottom. Now you can have your oven already preheated, and I'm going to put the cheese over. I'm going to definitely need some more cheese, so that'll mean more grating. To make your life easier, you can really use grated cheese, and then you put that in the oven. I will show you what it looks like when it comes out. And this is the finished product of my mac and cheese pasta. As you can see, it's standing nice and firm, and I like the little brown on the top as well, crusty, and it tastes great. One of the things I always remember about Naomi and her brother Joshua when we would have potlucks is ask, "Where's your mac and cheese?" So now you can make your own.